What's up, babe?
Knickers. What's a Knickers?
It's the same as a Snicker bar, but it's a lot cheaper.
Julius. Gravy waves?
It's the same as a Milky Way, but it tastes like gravy.
Listen, you cross-ages cheapskate!
If you want to save money, look no further than the undisputed king of frugality himself, Julius Rock. Best known as the hard-working father from Everybody Hates Chris. Julius wasn't just cheap, he was a financial mastermind operating on a level most people couldn't even comprehend. While others saw pennies as loose change, Julius saw opportunity. From calculating everything, this man lived by one rule: every cent counts. His legendary cheapness wasn't a flaw, it was a superpower, forged by necessity, sharpened by logic, and often misunderstood by the financially reckless family surrounding him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's this?
A coupon. No tickets on Tuesday.
Julius is a physical embodiment of the working class father. Julius is constantly juggling 2 jobs and sometimes even more, often clocking long and irregular hours with little time for rest. For Julius, supporting his family isn't just an obligation, it's his identity. He doesn't seek accolades or even thanks, he simply does what's necessary. His humble lifestyle and strong work ethic serve as a quiet counterpoint to a world that often measures manhood by wealth, status, and flash. Julius is instead the embodiment of quiet resilience. His life is a daily testament to sacrifice, not the grand cinematic kind, but the slow, often invisible sacrifices that keep a family afloat.
Knew what everything costs.
That's $1.09 in the trash.
In the very first episode, Chris asks Julius if they could stop and get some McDonald's, a completely normal request from a kid. Julius doesn't even hesitate before hitting him with that classic soul-crushing line.
You got some McDonald's money? You got some McDonald's money?
Right there. That's not just a question, that's a generational phrase. That one sentence could shut down any child's dream in under 5 seconds. Every millennial and Gen Z kid who grew up without money knows this line on a spiritual level. Then comes Rochelle, always trying to flex with money they don't have, who tries to play the "but the kids gotta eat" card. Julius, calm, collected, and armed with common sense, hits back. They don't gotta eat Mickey D's, we got bologna in the back of the truck. Let's pause right there. Not food at home, not sandwiches he's gonna make later, bologna in the back of the truck, unrefrigerated.
Ew!
Probably sweating in the sun. And Julius was 100% ready to feed that to his kids. That's a different level of dedication to saving money. Under pressure and probably a little side-eye from Rochelle, Julius finally caves. He agrees to buy just one combo meal, not one per child, one combo meal for 3 kids. And how does that break down? Drew gets the burger, Tanya gets the fries, and Chris, the one who asked for the food in the first place, gets the drink. The drink! Nothing says Father of the Year like splitting a $5 meal 3 ways and giving your oldest child the least satisfying part. It's funny, it's sad, and it's brilliant because it tells us everything we need to know about Julius in this one scene. He's not heartless, he will feed you, but he's gonna do it in the most cost-effective way possible, even if it means you walk away with nothing but a soda.
Chris, you can have a drink.
One of his main occupations is delivering newspapers, but he frequently picks up odd jobs whenever he can. His earlier jobs were so underpaid that he didn't make more than $25 until he was 30 years old. The Rock family originally lived in a housing project, and despite the hardships, Julius never stopped striving for better. In 1982, thanks to a better paying job, he was able to move the family to Bed-Stuy. While still a rough and economically struggling neighborhood, this move marked a significant step up for the family. Not only did they leave the projects, but they also became owners of a small apartment building that they occasionally rented out. This transition reflects Julius's commitment to building a more stable future for his children, even if it meant sacrificing comfort and rest for himself.
Unplug that clock, boy. You can't tell time when you sleep. It's 2 cents an hour.
To say Julius is cheap is to drastically undersell the precision and care in which he handles his family's finances. In nearly every episode, Julius is seen calculating the exact cost of common household items, from spilled milk to electricity. He once said with dead seriousness,
That's 49 cents of spilt milk dripping all over my table. Somebody gonna drink this milk.
This wasn't a joke. For Julius, every cent mattered. This brand of intense frugality isn't about hoarding money or being miserable. It stems from a deep awareness of scarcity and refusal to allow his family to fall through the economic cracks. Living paycheck to paycheck, Julius doesn't have the luxury of making financial mistakes. His meticulousness is a form of protection, not just for himself, but for his children's future. Take, for example, his insistence on unplugging unused appliances to save electricity or encouraging the family to combine meals. Breakfast and dinner combined together is Brenner.
You can eat in the morning. Combine breakfast and dinner. Call it Brenner.
While comical on the surface, these tactics reflect a resourceful, deeply practical mind. In a society obsessed with overconsumption, Julius is a rare figure who understands the long-term cost of waste.
Look around for a little while.
You got some looking around money?
Now that's how you clear a bitch. I don't know who that hoe is.
Julius is not an emotionally expressive man. He shows his love in acts of service, working endless shifts, fixing things around the house, and teaching his kids valuable lessons about responsibility. His emotional intelligence is subtle but potent. He rarely raises his voice. He doesn't need to. His presence commands respect, and his calm demeanor often anchors his more high-strung wife, Rochelle. His parenting style is notably different from many TV dads. Julius doesn't coddle, nor is he harsh. He provides structure, consistency, and a quiet sense of stability that makes his children feel safe, even if they don't always appreciate it in the moment. In the show's voiceover narration, adult Chris often reflects on his father's wisdom, proving that even if Julius's lessons didn't land immediately, they shaped the man he would become. Now, when it came to couples who make you stop and say, how do these two end up together? Julius and Rochelle are at the top of that list. The way these two operate, especially when it comes to money, it's like watching someone try to save a sinking boat with a spoon while their partner is drilling more holes in the hull. Let's start with the basics. Rochelle and Julius were polar opposites financially. Rochelle was all about appearances. She cared deeply how the family looked, what they wore, and how they were perceived. She didn't just want the family to live, she wanted them to live well, or at least look like it. Well-kept outfits, nice hair, name brand groceries. It was about style, status, and self-respect. Julius, on the other hand, that man will show up to the family dinner still in his work clothes from his job and most likely still smelling like it. He didn't have the time to change clothes because he was busy working 2 jobs. And yet, Rochelle dared to walk around proudly saying, "My man got 2 jobs." As a kid watching the show, that line sounded like a flex, but now as an adult, that line hits different. That's not cute, that's a cry for help. A man working 2 jobs is not thriving, he's surviving. It means rent is tight, food isn't guaranteed, and there's no margin for error. And yet, Rochelle would quit her job at the drop of a hat. Sometimes multiple times a season, like job stability was a personal offense. Why? Because her man got 2 jobs. Insanity. Can you imagine quitting a job like Rochelle does today in the year 2025? Girl, people can't even get hired at Wendy's and McDonald's. Wendy's and McDonald's. Let's talk about the infamous birthday party. Julius explicitly said he didn't want a party, and that makes sense. Parties cost money, balloons, food, drinks, and decorations. Every item on that list directly threatens Julius's blood pressure. If there's one thing Julius hates more than wasting money, it's wasting money on himself. But Rochelle, being Rochelle, completely ignores his wishes and ends up gaslighting him into throwing a surprise birthday celebration for her, even though it's clearly meant to celebrate his birthday.
I don't want a party.
Well, if you don't want to have a birthday party, what do I do when my birthday comes around and I want to have a party?
I swear, Julius folds so easily for his wife. It's sweet but sad. Listen, you can't force someone to celebrate something they don't want to celebrate, and that includes birthdays, achievements, or even life milestones. At its core, celebration is a personal choice, not an obligation. For some people, especially those like Julius Rock, who are practical, private, or just not emotionally invested invested in parties, the idea of a celebration might feel more like a burden than a blessing. It's not about being ungrateful or antisocial, it's about respecting their values, boundaries, and comfort zones. Forcing a party on someone, especially when they made it clear they don't want one, isn't thoughtful, it's disrespectful. It shifts the focus away from honoring that person's preferences and instead centers on the desires of the people throwing the celebration. In Julius's case, he didn't want a party because he saw it as unnecessary spending, and rather than honoring that, Rochelle flipped it around and made it about herself. That kind of gaslighting, turning someone's no into a reason to do it anyway, is more about control than love. Real respect means celebrating people how they want to be celebrated, even if that means not celebrating at all. And if someone's idea of a good time is a quiet dinner, a normal day, or even just peace and quiet, that should be more than enough. As if Julius didn't have enough to deal with the insanity inside his own house, the moment Rochelle's side of the family shows up, the whole financial system collapses like a poorly built house of cards. There's an episode where her father passes, and the rest of her family comes into town, every last one of them, financially incompetent on an elite level. Her mother, the absolute worst, she steps into Julius's modest home and immediately starts critiquing it like she's on an episode of MTV Cribs. She complains about the food, the decor, and no surprise here, how cheap everything is.
Rochelle, can't you make a decent glass of iced tea?
Well, can't you leave her alone? It's iced tea. If you're thirsty, well, then you drink it. If you're not, don't.
Period!
Then there's Rochelle's brother, Uncle Mike. Another prime example of what happens when a grown man is never told no by his mother. This man was damn near 40 and somehow had never held a job in his life.
Idea. Why don't I call someone whose job it is to fix it? You know why? Because when I need a job done, I get someone with a job to do that job.
And I'm not talking about someone who's between gigs or bouncing from job to job like Rochelle. Uncle Mike is on a whole different level of unemployment. Dude hasn't seen a pay stub or even a job application. He doesn't exist in the economy. He's not unemployed. He's a full-time freeloader. The man isn't jobless by circumstance. He's jobless by choice. And he's proud of it. Where's Doja Cat when you need her? There's one scene that sums up everything wrong with Uncle Mike, everything Julius has to endure. Uncle Mike is sitting in Julius's chair, which, if you know the rules of the house, is sacred territory. It's like sitting on the Iron Throne if the kingdom runs on coupons and double shifts. And not only is this man violating Julius's personal throne, but he's also doing the unthinkable. He's eating the big piece of fried chicken. Let me repeat for the people in the back. The man with no job, no income, no goals, no ambition is sitting in Julius Rock's chair, eating the one food item the entire household knows is reserved for the man who pays the bills. That is blasphemy on the highest level. That's not just disrespect, that's a felony in the Rock household. All Mike does is eat and sleep. He doesn't grind, he doesn't hustle, he doesn't even pretend to. His idea of a productive day is making it from the bed to the fridge without pulling a muscle. And this is the guy Rochelle wants her kids to look up to? At this point, can you really blame Julius for being cheap? This man is out here working 2 jobs, probably looking for a third, just to keep the lights on, while his extended family on his wife's side is turning his house into a financial black hole. Rochelle quits jobs like she's allergic to steady income. Her mother criticizes everything in sight like they're living in a mansion made of gold-plated garbage. And now Uncle Mike is setting up shop in Julius's chair like he's earned it, talking about,
You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss.
pay the cost of what, Mike? You never paid a single cost in your life. You don't even know what a utility bill looks like. Meanwhile, Julius is out here eyeballing spilled milk and calculating the exact price to the cent because every drop matters when you're supporting a household of people who treat money like Monopoly cash.
Big man! I see why these cheese grits are your favorite.
A few moments later.
Through Julius, Everybody Hates Chris offers commentary on the broader societal issues of economic disparity and the pressures faced by working class families. His character challenges stereotypes by portraying a black father who is present, responsible, and deeply committed to his family's success. Julius's actions and decisions reflect the realities of many families who must navigate financial constraints while striving to provide the best for their children. So yes, Julius was cheap as hell, but when you break it down, was it cheapness? In a household full of financially reckless, delusional, and ungrateful people. I mean, one time, Julius once bought one item on a department store credit card, and it took him 15 years to pay it off. That trauma stayed with him, and he made sure his family avoided credit cards altogether. He knew Rochelle's spending habits could easily spiral if given the chance. Oh, and if you're wondering what Julius bought that took him 15 years to pay off, Rochelle's wedding ring.
What did you buy that was so important that I had to wait 15 years to find out about?
Your wedding ring.
Oh, I know you feel stupid now, huh? Everybody Hates Chris is more than just a sitcom. It's one of the few shows that tackles real working class financial struggles with both humor and heart. Julius Rock, often labeled as the cheap dad, is actually the unsung hero of economic wisdom. His method might have seemed over the top, but they were rooted in survival, sacrifice, and a love for his family. In a world where debt and overspending are the norm, Julius reminds us that living below your means isn't a flaw, it's a superpower. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And I got another dad I'm going to discuss with you real soon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!